Hello everyone, welcome back to another video here. So, we're doing Alternate Future Episode 8. You may be wondering, there's something new showing my face. And there's going to be a video coming out like a few minutes before this one, which I would recommend watching this one before, or not watching this Alternate Future episode, but the one before this one, to understand why I'm showing my face and everything that's been happening. But that's not the point. We're on Alternate Future. And if you haven't watched any of the episodes, I would recommend you watching all of them, because it would make sense the most. But yeah, if you guys would like to see more videos like Alternate Future and other videos like this one, make sure to like and subscribe, and hit that bell, because I'm on my goal to hit 50 subscribers on my birthday, and my birthday's next week, so I'd really appreciate that. But let's get into Alternate Future. So we're gonna start off in China, and China will experience a civil war. Yeah, I know. Already? Yeah, they will, because they will experience two rebellions rising up. And those rebellions are between the Uniteds and the Nationalists. And the Uniteds are colored purple, and the Nationalists are colored red. But the first to act are the Nationalists, as they're getting aided by Northern India, or just the remnants of British Raj. And these guys will literally go insane and berserk in, I guess you could say, Eastern China. Almost become my East and West. That's nice. But they will move through China swiftly, as they connect up very quickly in a matter of a few days. And this shocks a lot of people, as they are very, very dense mountains, or the Appalachians. I mean, not Appalachians. I forgot what they're called. Gosh, diddly darn. But besides the point, there's just a huge mountain range right here, and it's very rocky terrain. So yeah, that's all you need to know. And it's not gonna go smoothly for the I guess you could say original Chinese team, or the blue team. They will pretty much just lose this entire west side as they collapse and surrender. And they will also lose this because it's quite little to what? It is impossible for them to keep on, I guess, filling or supplying this region, as it's now encircled. Oh, I'm tweaking. And there's just a very narrow path, so they surrender as well. But let's move on down to, I guess, central China, you can say. These guys, they will move in quickly, as they're being supported by the Japanese. And the Japanese support the Nationalists because they're literally just the Chinese, but as a democracy. And they don't want to fight a China that doesn't like them. So they support these guys trying to gain the upper hand. And yeah, they actually do, because these guys are very much so shambled, or the blue team is. While the Japanese are still standing strong, but they're slowly and steadily crumbling in the inside. But this entire region, begins to fall. But the purple team, they will increase their expansion rapidly, as they send in most of their troops. Holy. And they actually begin to invade to the red team. And this scares them, as the red team now has to pull troops back from here to here. And that's literally just what they do. As the Chinese, they actually are able to regain a lot of this, but not push into the red team's main, I guess, rebellion. Well, this is their main rebellion, but besides the point. The purple team will continue their offensive into the red team, and into the blue team as well, as now they're going against both. But the Indians are not scared, or the Uniteds, shall I say, are not scared at all, as they think they are far superior in this war, as they are, because they begin to win, and the Japanese supply routes are being shot down, and Japanese soldiers are being shot down. But the Japanese do not want to cause a major conflict in, I guess, the Chinese land, as they already fought the Chinese, and that was a very, very deadly war. And yeah, these guys will continue moving down, and the blue team will actually be able to fully push into the red team, gaining a lot of this and actually cutting them off from each other, which is a very, very bad for the red team. And the blue team will actually begin to invade into the red team, which is even worse for the red team at this point, because their main area is now this and this. Oh, what just happened? But they will continue their offensive into, I guess, this red team rebellion until this thing entirely surrenders. So does this. And they begin... Oh, wait, wrong color. They begin to push into the red team's offensive in occupied lands as they are fully pushed out. Besides this part and this part. But this team is about to just crumble as the red team is no longer dominating in, I guess, Eastern China, but instead losing, as the blue team does not care about the purple team at this moment, but cares about the red team, as they don't want to fall to the Japanese or the US. And the Japanese will just begin to annex that. Not annex it, but not Japanese, the United's purple team. They move into this occupied land and actually begin to move into China itself. And this is when the blue team realizes that the threat isn't the red team, it's purple team. And they realize it too late as this part gets encircled. And they actually begin to move into this major city and make a spearhead connecting out to the Japanese. And any cities over here and any people, they surrender because they're not dealing with that. And the blue team just sees everything, so does the red team. So they both peace out. And that's the end of the Second Chinese War, as the purple team comes out winning somehow, even though they had the least amount of economy and the least amount of, I guess, power. But here is the peace treaty. So here's the peace treaty. Yeah, it seems like nothing happened, but a lot of things happened. As if we go to layers, I mean, that's not layers. If we go to alliances, we see that the Golden Team has disbanded, as the main leader of the United Chinese Republic has fallen. And a new place, as a pro-United government, or Unitedism as I call it, or as people call it, is in place, and they are absolutely a dominant power, as the Pink Alliance has a very large hemisphere of you can say, influence in Southern Asia and Southeast Asia. But the Orange Team is still standing strong, as they still have a lot of dominance in the Americas, in Europe, and yeah, and a little bit of Asia, but that's kind of just about it, as a lot of countries are independent and sovereign to other alliances. Like, most of Europe is probably going to the, I guess, Dark Blue Alliance, and most of Northern Europe is going to, I guess, the Baltic Alliance. But Eastern Europe is probably going to the Orange Team, and some of Western. But the Middle East, for example, that's just splitting up between the Iranians, the Turkish, and the Orange Team. And yeah, that's not really much influence and power, but they still have large power. But let's move on. As we move on down to China once again. But not this China. This China. The Japanese, right? After the major loss in China and millions of dead, not millions, but hundreds of thousands dead, many uprisings in China will take place. And in Japan, in Japan itself, as they see that they're no longer strong, and they are crumbling. So here are the rebellions, as most of them are in the east, and many of the large ones are in the east, like I said, as the main one being the Japanese one, and the Chinese one, and the Korean one. So three main rebellions happening in all of the same Sea of China. Or, yeah, I think that's what it's called. But, these rebellions are united. And what I mean by united, they are united as they are blasting through China as they connect up with this group, and the Japanese are just in shock, and they don't know what to do, as their military is still pretty weakened, and a lot of their assets were in China. But the Japanese will send in some troops, and they will easily take out this group, as it was a very weak group and under, I guess, unsupplied group, very undersupplied group, and they destroy that group as well. So the Japanese island is safe, but they do a landing in South Korea. But these guys, yeah, it's not gonna go well, as they kind of unite up with North Korea or Northern Korea, and yeah, it's just like the Japanese have lost Manchuria's coast, and it's not looking well. And the Japanese know they won't be able to win, so they declared, "Take whatever you want, be free." And this surprises the world, as they thought the Japanese were a very independent and sovereign, like very strong independent nation. But now they just easily surrender to these weak rebellions. But the Japanese army has been weakened, and their economy is starting to just go down. Just starts to go right. And so here's the peace treaty for the Chinese rebellion. And so here's the peace treaty. Oh wait, let me fix that. So here's the peace treaty of the rebellions. And you may be wondering, what in the world even happened? There's an independent Mongolia, independent Manchuria, and there's an independent Korea and independent China, which I'm gonna add their capitals at the end of the video. But yeah. But let's go look at alliances. The Japanese have shrunken a lot. Only have a small foothold in Korea. They have a small foothold in like Asia, and they have Taiwan, and they have this. And yeah, that's just what they have. And when I say this, all of these nations have very good, like, armies and technology, as that is because of the investigations to these crash sightings all in Mongolia, in northern Manchuria, and sometimes in northern Japan. But Japan the Japanese Empire is still strong, but they are no longer a monarchy or imperialist nation anymore, as they moved into a more nationalistic, authoritarian type of situation. But let's move on over to the Middle East. We haven't talked about them in a bit, because Iran, they kind of stopped their, advancements into the Middle East. But now they have better goals, as a Turkish leader makes a brutal statement to the Iranians and Europeans, in which that causes a full-out war on Turkey against the Italians, or just the Mediterranean Alliance, versus what the heck? Which this causes a full-out war against the Mediterranean Alliance and the Persian Alliance, and which this is not going to go well for the Turkish at all, as their Italian holds are gonna easily be captured, and they'll be invaded in the north in Bulgaria as this entire Bulgarian state just crumbles, and the Romanians and Yugoslavians are gonna do a lot of damage in the north. And let's go move over to here. The Iranians are going to push into Turkey as they've been building up their army ever since they've stopped after a couple of months / years back. And this Caucasian state, or just Georgian state, crumbles as it fully surrenders, and they begin to continue their push into Turkey. But it's a very mountainous region, and the Turkish are using that to its advantage. But now they have access to the Adriatic Sea, so not Adriatic, Black Sea, so they might be cooked. But the Turkish actually makes a secret alliance with Ukraine as they invade Crimea for no specific reason. But it is for a very specific reason, as I shall say. As the Turkish actually can get better supplies and gain the entire Black Sea dominated by them, as they do invade with the help of Ukraine. And Ukraine will begin to push into Romania, as they want these lands, as a lot of Ukrainians are in, and they have seen what the world has been doing, and it's been changing drastically into a more, I guess, authoritarian / war-ish world, as it's no longer friendly, but more dangerous. But this allows for the Turkish to make a counteroffensive against the red team, and actually push into Albania, and actually retrieve both of these states, or again, exclaves. And I mean enclaves? I think it's exclaves, yeah. And they begin to push up into southern Italy, as this shows the Turkish are not playing around, as they're more focused in Europe, as it has better, I guess, technology and economy. But some will join this war on their own side, and that bees the Western European Union, as they declare war on Italy, and only Italy, for a specific reason, as they want to gain an Italian puppet in northern Italy, and just dominance in the Balkans, or regional dominance. And they will begin to move in very swiftly, as they have drastically changed their military, and begin to improve it lots. And the Turkish use this as an opportunity to continue moving and take out Naples and say, hey, you take the rest of Italy and we're good. And they agree. And Italy and Rome is encircled. It's not looking well for Italy, as Italy was the Mediterranean's main leader, or I guess you'd say ally. And northern Italy doesn't look so great, as Yugoslavian troops are starting to come in, but it's too late, as they're pushed back to their own border, and actually invaded in, and say, hey, you just give us some of your requests, like all of this, and we're good. And they accept. And Italy soon collapses. And, yeah, it doesn't look so great, as the Turkish actually begin to do naval bombardments on the coast. And, yeah, they connect up, and it doesn't look so great, as Yugoslavia isn't looking so well, you know? And yeah, Romania's getting pushed back, as they're mainly the one who's doing it. But let's move back to the Iranian side. They have made very slow advancements, as they realize how much Turkey has grown, and very much so underestimated them. And yeah, they completely stopped, because the Turkish have created a formidable defensive line. And yeah, the Iranians have tried to move in, but they can't. But continuing north, Ukraine connected up with Turkey, and yeah, it's wraps. Romania and Yugoslavia are deep fried, as you can say. And, yeah. It's not looking so well. As Romania is fully pushed out, and their capital is under siege currently. And Yugoslavia just full-on surrenders, and Ukraine sees that they surrendered, and they're the last of their alliance, and they surrender. And Iran says, hey, you let us take all of this, and we can peace out. And the Turkish see that they can take out the Iranians and move into them, but they don't want to fight them, as they've already exhausted themselves enough. But they do some counteroffensive, pushing them back a bit, but that's not going to help at all. But, yeah. And so, they do accept the peace treaty. And, yeah, so, here is the peace treaty. So, here is the peace treaty. Oh, excuse me, I haven't talked in a bit. But here's the peace treaty. Yeah, the Balkans change a lot. As, besides that, as Romania is gone, basically, at this point, Yugoslavia is just Serbia, and there's a new northern Yugoslavia, and Hungary got bigger, and, the Western European Union, is now in the Balkans, and, has a new puppet state. And Ukraine is, got a lot of this. But, yeah, the Ottomans, or I guess the Turkish, you can say, are very big have a big influence in the Balkans, as they basically just have all of this at this point. They actually, the WEU, probably has this, if I'm being honest. Well, you can't see it, but oh well. But yeah. But one last thing to show you, is alliances. Yeah, Hungary joins the Turkish alliance because, the Turkish said that if you join us, we won't invade you and we won't influence you. And so they accepted, and yeah. But thank you all for watching episode 8 of Alternate Future of the World. And like and subscribe if you did enjoy. And yeah, peace.